YouTube, what the crap's going on? That loading screen's sweet. That's a cool mod I use. It's called Improved Loading Screens. And I have other mods I'm running for this campaign, and some people asked me to talk through it real quick. I don't know that I can have a link in the description for every mod, but I'll try. But essentially, I use the Improved Loading Screen, which of course has no impact to the campaign. It's just a nicety. I use Garrison Commanders, which allows you to have like a melee hero in the garrison if you meet the requirements, which I think is like a tier 3 settlement or something like that. And it has to have defenses. So yeah, there's certain requirements, and I like that one because it makes your settlement have a little bit better defenses if you pay to get it up to that point. I'm also using Improved Skill Points mod, which gives 2 skill points for lords once they pass level 10, and it gives 2 skill points to heroes every 5 levels. So it's not just like a straight 2 skill points per turn. There's a lot of those out there, and I can see how those would be fun too. But I feel like this one is like a nice medium between giving me 2 skill points every turn, but not having to deal with just 1 skill, or not every turn, 2 skill points every level, versus just only getting 1 and not really feeling like you can really max these lords out the way that you want to in a long campaign. And then I use tier 4 minor settlements, and what that means is it allows your minor settlements to go all the way up to tier 4 as opposed to just tier 3. The reason I like that is because it allows me to specialize the provinces a little more the way I want to, since some buildings require the main chain. Probably a bit more of a challenge if you have to use the main chain, but to me it's more of a nuisance than it is a challenge. Or the main settlement. So that's why I use it. But anyway, those are the mods I use currently. I thought about doing some other interesting campaigns once I finish Belegar and Skarsnik. I still want to do a Chaos campaign, and there's lots of interesting mods out for that. I'd love to do a Vlad von Karstein campaign, just because he's so ridiculous with all of his deployment, like his Vanguard deployment. And there's a mod that lets the vampires start over here in the Bretonnian area, and I would like to use that. And then there's a mod that improves the roster of Bretonnia and gives them more units, which is also really cool, and I figured that would be like a cool campaign to run. So I have some other ideas. Speaking of mods in general, there's definitely something I want to share with you, so hang on just a second. Okay, so I want to run through this announcement real quick before I start this, and I'm probably going to do this on a couple of videos for the next few days. So the Creative Assembly announced the 3rd annual Mod Awards, and this is where they bring modders and community members in, and they announce a winner for like certain categories. So they're going to have basically you voting for your favorite mods. And so the categories right now, and I'm going to read this, and so the games that this is applicable to: Total War Rome 2, Total War Attila, and Total War Warhammer. So these are the games that I believe, yes, so those are the games that this is applicable to, those 3 games. So you look at your favorite mods from those games, and here's the categories, so listen carefully. I'm going to go through these. Best Unit or Units mod, Best Overhaul mod, meaning overhauling the game, Best Graphics mod, Most Innovative mod, Best Map, this is Attila only, Player's Choice, CA Legacy Award, CA only, but they still let you make suggestions on that one. And then there's a couple of rules on the mods that you are able to nominate, and I'll have a link in the description to go nominate your favorite mods. Only mods that are created in the last year or that were significantly updated in the last year. So that's from October 31st of 2015 to October 31st of 2016. Only mods for, like I said, Rome 2, Total War Attila, and Total War Warhammer. And you cannot have any mod that uses copyright infringing material. They can't acknowledge the presence of those mods. Because if they do, then they have to be doing their best to remove them. So don't be nominating anything that contains copyrighted material, or else they, like I said, it can't be a good thing for them. So that's what they want you to do. So how do you nominate it? Again, I'll have a link in the description. What's the time frame? So it is from the 27th of October through the 31st of October. So that's today. When you're watching this, it'll be the 28th. So you've got 3 days to go nominate these. Again, go look at the link in the description. this is one way that you can help Creative Assembly know how important mods are to you. Remember when this game came out, Total War Warhammer, speaking of this, at first they announced there wouldn't be mod support, and there was a huge uproar, and it's because so many people love mods. This is a great way to help Creative Assembly know how important mods are to you, and I really think, honestly, it's pretty cool of them to bring in these modders and help recognize the contribution that they give to the game. I love the base game in Warhammer, but one of the things I love most is the creative content that these people bring, and like the mods that I just listed to you that I play in this campaign. Someone took their time to make those, and it makes my campaign experience better and more customizable to what I want, and then it also helps me pick things that you will like to view. So go vote for these things. Help recognize those people who are making an important contribution to the Total War community. And definitely go make your voice heard there. And so on the 15th of November, they're going to actually announce the mod awards. So yep, keep an eye out for information on that. And yeah, just go vote. Enjoy. Go tell them your favorite mod. Now let's get back into the Belegar campaign here. Where I left off last time, I've got one province in its entirety and part of another. The Stylian army's moving up here. That's annoying. This province up here is still pretty shaky, and we do have to deal with Grimhold, which has got a Crooked Moon mutinous gits. And I am going to do the new style of campaign for a while. If people just really end up hating it, I'll switch back, but I want to try it for a few episodes on both campaigns, and that's where I do the cinematic battles and sometimes summarizing interactions on the campaign map if I don't feel like they're value added, so that I can give you more content and hopefully more relevant content as I go through this stuff. So let's see. I meant to look at my heroes. Got my 2 Thanes. Yes. Oh. I was thinking there's only 1 Thane in this army, because it only shows 1 at a time. Yeah. So I have not been using my ethereal Thanes to the best of their ability, and some of my other ethereal units too. I like having some of them in my army, but keeping all of them in my army makes it to where I'm going to struggle for certain things that I can do better if I deploy them. You'd rather eat a squig? I can arrange that. Let's get down here and take care of the Crooked Moon gits. This is going to be an auto-resolve scenario. Nothing to worry about here. So we're going to occupy Grimhold. So we got rid of the Groby Scum grudge, and they are scum. I have 3 more grudges, one of which is to retake Karak 8 Peaks, so my anger meter up here at me not dealing with grudges is going to be quite hard. Potion of Foolhardiness, that's freaking awesome. We're going to grab that. Grudge successful. We took back Grimhold, so we got rid of 2 grudges there. That's nice. Let's take a look at our characters real quick. Hang on, let's go into details here. There's a basic armor, ward save, melee defense. Let's give that to King Lun Ironhammer here, because he's the first one, and why not? He has a potion of strength, which is pretty sweet. I have a potion of healing, which, ooh, man, we're going to be giving that to Belegar. By all means. Mr. the Ironhammer, where are you, sir? Where are you? Let's get the Iron Hammer here. We got this Iron Curse icon, which just gives him missile resistance. Yeah, screw that. Potion of Healing is going to be way better. Way better. Alright. Cooper, Ogre Blade. Let's see what options we have here. Charge bonus. Yeah, the one he has is probably better. Talisman of Endurance. There's nothing else to choose from. Gambler's Armor. Yep, okay, good. Happy with where we got him then. So he's going to have that potion. We need to put the Potion of Foolhardiness probably on one of these Thanes. Actually, I'm going to put it maybe... Yeah. Are these guys breakable, though? Yeah, they're unbreakable, so the Potion of Foolhardiness doesn't make much sense on them, but I don't really have a unit that it would make sense on. So yeah, we won't worry about the Potion of Foolhardiness because it's not going to make a big difference. What I am going to do is I'm going to take one of these Thanes out of my army. We're going to take Stonebeard. I'm going to pull him out, and I'm going to deploy him in this province because he gives significant public order reduction, or public order, yeah, boost to public order, I should say. I have a little bit of money at the moment, and I'm going to use it to go ahead and improve this to a dwarf outpost so that I can build defenses. And until I can build defenses, I'm going to go ahead and put in a trinket maker so we can make a little more money. And then I'm going to improve the defenses here. Again, this is going to be expensive, but I want to improve my defenses at to a guard hall here at Karak Azgraz, because we're quite likely to get attacked by rebels or all other kinds of nonsense there. Karak Izor is being sieged. If we remind ourselves, there are 6 turns until we surrender, so there's no significant hurry here. This garrison can well defend itself against such a stack as this. We have some of these gits rolling around here, and they're a little bit concerning, but I have enough garrison over here too that I'm worried, and if Tylea starts raiding, we'll have to put them in their place and remind them how they're scum. No one's interested in trading with me, at least not that I've been able to get any type of agreements from. And it's partly because people hate me so much in the due to the difficulty levels. There's a certain amount of hate. Let's just see, public order in all provinces. Okay, this one would give me diplomatic relations, which would be nice. Tariffs from trade agreements don't really matter right now because I'm not getting any money from it. So I'm actually thinking I'm just going to switch over here and try and go ahead and get the booster relationships. And O-Stones, recruitment costs for Longbeards. I'm pretty happy with where I stand right now on infantry buffs. There's extra public order here that we can get as well by going through this line. So that'll be helpful as well, because we need some of that public order, and then this reduction and vampiric and chaos corruption will also be quite important, so I'll probably work through some of that as well. That way we can try and stabilize the public order so I can actually make a decent run on Karak 8 Peaks. Still issue an edict here, and we'll do the public order boost and reduction of vampiric and chaos corruption. That's my favorite one, typically. Sometimes it makes sense to do others, like if you get a province completely built up for income, it's good to switch it over to the tax one. Raiding at Karak Bufdar. Yep, Tylea is now raiding me, so we're going to have to go run those guys off.
Belegar, Ironhammer.
Belegar, my iron-hammered friend. I do have access to more regiments of Renowned. I haven't been using them yet because they're so expensive. I have access to the Skolder Guard. The Snorgrimling's Iron Breakers sounds fantastic, but I'm hesitant to pull them in just because of their massive upkeep cost. We've got Ulthar's Raiders, and then this Peak Gate Guard, which is absurd as well. Absurd in upkeep, too, even more so than Snorgrimling's Iron Breakers. Whew, those guys, man. Those Iron Breakers. I don't need any of them at this particular moment, so I'm just going to save the upkeep. I'm going to go underground. I'm going to work my way back over here and take out these rebels. I want to secure my provinces and help build up my income a little. No, I won't join your war. I can't afford to at the moment, unfortunately. I'd love to beat the crap out of the border princes for being a poor neighbor, but not much I can do about that. Alrighty. Let's take care of our upgrades here. We can upgrade the Thane, and let's see here. This Authoritarian gives public disorder there, inspirational, martial. So this one gives us an extra public order when we're deployed in our own province, and it'd kind of be nice to get this champion bit. This patrol ambusher would be an interesting one to level up. So I'm going to work on that slowly over time. Let's take a look at this master engineer. Looks like I've been upgrading some of his battle skills, which is fine. Let's see if there's any good. Now, siege holdout time +1 is great, but saboteur, prospector, Karak blood, reduction in corruption would be nice. Research rate increase, which would also be nice. Heavy lifting, target on own army, increases campaign movement range. That's pretty sweet. Confounder. Damage wall, 1 additional wall breaches. Holy crap, we can make it up to 3 additional wall breaches. There's some pretty handy stuff there, actually. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go with that there. And let's take a look at Ironbrow here, who is our runesmith. We got the rune of shielding. What else can he do down here? So extra public order in a province up to +3. Growth in a province up to 36. That is pretty sweet. Reduction in vampiric corruption. and of course chaos corruption, and then the same thing here with ancestor rune. So he can provide significant corruption reduction, and I say that we probably ought to go ahead and help him work on that, because that, again, in the later game periods could be quite handy, I think. Still got our Thane out here. Let's make sure that we give him a proper upgrade. I'm going to do the same thing down here and try and get him over to this champion and patrol ambusher. We can use these guys to good effect at hurting enemy armies well before we ever engage them. And the Thanes, the ethereal units at least, I don't believe are able to be assassinated on the campaign map, which is quite nice for them. Though they're not very good at getting rid of Crooked Moon agents, that's for sure. I still struggle to ever have much success when I'm playing or using my agents, unless it's as the Crooked Moon. We'll go ahead and play out this cinematic battle, and I'll see you there. So here we are at the Battle of Barundin Stronghold. Got the Crooked Moon gits approaching. You can see the stronghold off in the distance looking pretty sweet. The Greenskin Siege Tower also looking pretty sweet. I like how the Siege Towers have a lot more character in this game rather than everybody using the exact self-same thing. Let's see what happens here. You can see the shots coming down from my dwarf towers. And there's thunderers up at the top of the walls firing away too. So you can see that they have quite a nice firing position. And all these units here are going to be under heavy fire from my thunderers from the tops of the walls. Not to mention the towers themselves, which is going to be substantial. I have reinforcements coming from the back of the city. This is kind of cool how the reinforcements can come from the back of the settlement like this, rather than from necessarily having to come without. So yeah, I've got all these reinforcements that came from within the settlement. I mean, think how cool it would be if CA took the time to flesh out these settlements and have like staged siege battles, like where you have to fight your way through different levels of the fortress. I mean, because they did a really good job like making this fortress look awesome, but there's just not much to it when it comes to the actual siege battle, which is a little unfortunate. What is this? Some kind of blocked tunnel going under the water? That's pretty sweet. Yeah, so you can see there's all kinds of awesome stuff. Watch what happens over here. The trolls are trying to break down the gates, and then on the walls, greenskins are pouring out of their siege towers. You can see them coming out there, kind of reminiscent of Helm's Deep. Not quite the same. Yeah, so you can see these are actually, I think they're Night Goblin archers or something like that. It could actually be Night Goblins. There's some boys or some biggins or something right here. Biggins, and it looks like we got orc biggins over here as well. So yeah, that's the overall level of the siege. I've got a grudge thrower and I'm holding some units in reserve. When the trolls break through the gates, I have a little surprise laid out for them. I've got skirmishers on either side, the Thane behind, and then the thunderers there, and then the fire from the walls from my thunderers is just absolutely withering, and the greenskins on the wall don't have much of a chance. Let's watch it through the lens of these trolls here once they bust the gates open. Alright, so they've got the gates open, and they're going to rush forward into my waiting miners, but they're going to be taking fire from this well-positioned thunderer back here. So you can see they can barely even get through the gates because they're getting staggered so hard from all the missile fire. Whirlers on one side and thunderers on another. So here it comes. The trolls just start absolutely eating it. They're going to get nowhere. So I had a nice little murder hole set up here. See the trolls go down in an absolute hail of missile fire. It was brilliant. I like that little setup there. Just use a miner to hold these guys. They are out of here. The only unit that's kind of still holding up is the Night Goblin War Boss up here. And there he is, fighting against some of my Longbeards with, I think these are just standard Longbeards. I had a variety with great weapons, but it was at this point when the greenskin armies just start to fall apart. So easy success for me there. All right, well that was a significant success, as expected though. Those guys had no prayer attempting the type of victory they were after there. So we got rid of the Groby Scrum there. That actually helped, or actually, that dropped my my public anger over my inability to get rid of these grudges. I'm gonna go ahead and make a run over here as quick as I can. I want to try and put an end to these other raiding armies. We have some money, once again, which is nice. I want to focus on building my defenses first and foremost. That way we can defend against these constant rebellions and uprisings and all this other nonsense. So that's what I will spend my money on, right, wrong, or indifferent. Mr. the Iron Hammer here. Let's just kind of see some of the stuff he has left. I've gotten this reclamation. This over here gives a bonus to all kinds of artillery, and then this one gives a drop and upkeep for ranger units, which is nice. But I still have so much crap from not owning the 8 peaks that I don't know if it's really worth it. Obstinacy takes a vigor loss away, so I mean having the vigor stay there is also nice. Purebred, Mason, Wallmaster. Wow, now this is cool actually, because sometimes you have to siege people out, and taking up to 5 turns away from their siege holdout, I actually really like that. Could be very handy for taking 8 peaks as well. So I'm actually going to spend some points on that and finish that up. And I want to get to this, I mean, Iron Willed isn't all that important to me, but I'd like to get to Lightning Strike. Inspirational Leader, Casualty Replenishment, this would also be extremely handy. So I want to get to those items down here, and we'll of course finish up Wound Maker and some others. Those are important, but I want to get to some of these other items first. So let's go ahead and end another turn. I think this whole research of improvement to diplomatic relations just means sending them large quantities of dwarf beer, and that pretty much makes them like me again. Just had to give him a little reminder.
Grave news, my lord.
Oh no, grave news.
Word is spreading across the land of a dark power rising in the northern wastes.
Oh no.
The armies of chaos are on the move.
Whatever am I going to do?
They plan to invade the world of mortals once again.
I bet they do.
Prepare your defenses well.
I am.
For the forces of chaos spare no one in their quest for bloodshed.
Really? I figured we'd just give them dwarf beer too and everybody'd be good. Seems like the solution to everything. I'm glad I got this advisor to tell me what's going on, because without him I really don't know what I would do sometimes. Here we go.
Together we're stronger. Let our clans be out.
Yeah, I'd like to help you, but I've got other things to handle right now. You know, that whole dwarf kin thing, I'm feeling it, but not entirely. I can probably put some more units in this army as well. I'm making a little money for once, though, which is nice. Do I have to have that money? Maybe not. Norgrimling's Iron Breakers and some of these other units would be pretty darn slick. The Dragonback Slayers would be awesome also, and they're probably some of the lower upkeep here. Let's go ahead and grab them for now. Whew, still painful upkeep. Absolutely painful. At least our economy's improved. We need to get an army together to go take 8 peaks.
Behind a shield of define.
You want a defensive alliance. I would really like a trade agreement with you, to be quite honest. Can I have a trade agreement with you? No. Or we already have a trade agreement. No, we don't. And I can't trade with them, apparently. I didn't mean to reject that, actually. My bad.
Together we're stronger.
Yeah. I'm sure we are. Like I said, I'll be happy to go raid the crap out of the Border Prince. Finish that. Got slightly improved. Well, we should be having some improved public order. Some province is better than others. These clowns should run out of supplies.
No!
Yep, on the next turn they'll run out of supplies, and that'll work just fine for me. I have 2 turns before I run out of supplies over here. Let's take this Thane, and since we're already in negative public order, I'm going to risk it getting a little bit worse. I'm going to roll down here. And I'm going to go ahead and start assaulting units in that army. Spend a little bit more money increasing my fur trade there. Okay.
What brings you before the heir of Lund?
Non-aggression pact sounds good to me. Oh, they're going to attack me here before my Thane gets there. How very clever of them. Alright, I'll see you on the battlefield. So, Uthar Ironwill is defending Karak Bufdar against the Goblin Rock Lobber spam. Goblobber spam, whatever we want to call it. They have some Orc Boarboy biggins and a couple other units, but most of the units here aren't going to be that significant. This map is really cool looking, like this underground area. Like I said, all these siege maps really are neat. They just really bad frame rates. Wish Creative Assembly could clean that up at least a little bit. And then the other frustrating thing with this is where they will, they don't have, you know, I mean, this part of the siege is interesting enough, but it would be cool if like the defender is trying to defend the walls and cause as much damage, and then they have like a rally point back here where they can rally back to, and then the battle would enter like a second phase where the greenskins start pushing further back into the fortress, and like I said, you can kind of just rally back and try and defend your fortress. That would be a really cool mindset. And then if you were the attacker, you could set up like reinforcements and all kinds of cool stuff, like equipment that helps you bust down doors and gates. Like, I mean, it'd be really nice. So anyway, here we go. Check out these statues back there. It looks absolutely awesome. There's a crap load of these rock lobbers, and I decided not to defend the walls because if I put my guys on the walls, the rock lobbers were going to ruin me. So I have a little dwarf ambush set up back here. I've got all my dwarfs hiding behind this giant unbreakable building here, and then I have a couple of artillery pieces sitting here just ready to fire if necessary. But right now some of the units they need to fire at either aren't in range or I just don't have an attack order. But yeah, I'm going to let the greenskins take the walls. Here comes their war boss. These guys are going to head down. Coming down off the walls actually works a little nicer in this game. It's kind of like magic. They just come running out, but it works better than it did in some of the past Total Wars. The siege pathfinding is not great, but it's certainly improved. This settlement really does look cool. Like I said, I really hope they do something with this in the next iteration of Total War Warhammer. So yeah, you can see the greenskins pouring into the city. We got some Night Goblin archers here. The Boar biggins coming through the gate that was easily bashed down by the Goblin Rock Lava. I'm gonna run my artillery away, and the greenskin war boss thinks that he is going to be walking into some easy kills on these artillery crew, but he's going to round the corner right into the face of a huge mass of dwarfs, a lot of which have some nice armor piercing values to take him out with. So here he comes. He's like, whoa, just a couple of dwarfs hiding back here. Now when this happens though, it gives the rock lobbers visibility to my dwarf soldiers here, and you're going to see the rocks start getting lobbed in. Some of them are going to hit this building over there, and then others are going to go ahead and maybe hit just this very edge of the combat, so I will lose some of my men. But it's also hitting, some of the rocks are hitting the greenskin troops here as well, and helping me out. You can see the Boar boys taking a pretty good savaging. So my little ambush thing works. My garrison commanders here, the Thane, helping fight back against the war boss with all the infantry. You can see, like I said, the rocks continue to land here. Rock lobbers are firing away. And then you'll see what my strategy is for ridding the map of all the rock lobbers. Once I rid myself of any of the infantry that might pester me as I try to get rid of the rock lobbers, I've backed up my quarrelers. They're going to start firing away into this blob. You see a few more greenskins coming in. I think these are just boys. I don't think they're boy biggins. So yeah, nothing substantially strong enough to really challenge my dwarf infantry. The rock lobbers are causing more damage than anything else. But like I said, they're also damaging their own troops, which is really working out in my favor. Look at this one brave boy here, thinking he's just gonna come in here mostly by himself. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do so well in this combat. But then again, with all the rocks landing on the stunties in front of him, he might do all right. Some of these might be biggins. Yeah, some of those were biggins. Was there a unit of just regular boys there? I guess not. They were all biggins. So yeah, they get pushed back. There is an orc boar chariot that's bogged down on me now, and these boar chariots aren't going to do any good once they get bogged down. I still say it would be awesome if the dwarfs had some kind of boar cavalry or something. But I guess that's a Lord of the Rings thing. And I'm not even sure it was a Lord of the Rings thing. I think they just put that in the movie. Yeah, there you go. We're going to easily take out these boar chariots. They're going to get pushed back. I'm going to fast forward and kind of show you what happens in the rest of this battle. Once I'm able to push away their infantry and their lord, their orc war boss was killed right up here against the building. So these biggins come back and they just get waylaid by all my quarrelers. The chariots come back, same thing. They're going to get wrecked by my quarrelers. And at this point, it routs off all of their forces other than the artillery. And you're going to see me start moving my units out, not in a blob as much as possible. I'm going to start trying to move them with space in between them, so that as the rock lobbers open fire, they're not able to damage my guys as easily as if they were in one big blob trying to move out. And you can see they do quite a lot of damage. My dwarfs are going to sally out here and do their best to take the fight to the rock lobbers. See my miners here fighting with the artillery crews, the goblin artillery crews. But I mean, it's pretty ugly. There's lots of rocks being lobbed in from the opposite side of the battlefield. So some of my troops are routing away. Some of the goblin troops rout away. I mean, you can just see with all the dust and dirt getting kicked up here just how much artillery is landing in this vicinity. You can see it just kind of continually streaming in from that side of the map. I do have more dwarfs pouring out of the holes that the rock lobbers made earlier, which gives me a pretty good entry point to get out here and fight these things. This is a unit of longbeards with great weapons. So yeah, my miners out here struggling to stay alive long enough to get any damage done. Whew. That barrage. You can see that my longbeards with great weapons here getting peppered pretty badly. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to be out on the open field against this many rock lobbers. So that's why I saved this part to the end. You can see over here there's quarreler bolts flying up and over the walls. I've placed my quarrelers just inside the walls, and they're now causing major damage to the rock lobbers out here. And we'll kind of slowly eat away at them. And I have more reinforcements moving up. You can see the units that I have positioned to fire here. So the quarreler's firing up and over the walls, and then I have this unit of longbeards that's going to be heading out to try and take out rock lobbers. At this point, though, we're starting to do significant damage to the greenskin numbers. My Thane should be... Where's it at? Okay, yeah, over here maybe? Yeah, my Thane was over here, and he found this big giant blob of rock lobbers that had gotten up against the wall, and he was taking them out. Anyway, it's going to be a heroic victory for us. I will see you back on the campaign map. Alright, well that idiotic rock lobber spam is defeated. Relative ease. It's a good one to hide from within the walls of a city, which on an open field battle may have made that a lot more dangerous, but clearly not at this point. Now these guys are going to start suffering attrition, and since they were so insistent on making me siege them out, I'm quite happy to watch them eat the attrition, to be quite honest. Saboteur. Yeah, we're going to use this guy, the Master Engineer. I was going to use him for some extra reduction to corruption, I believe. So let's keep working on that. And then we got the Runesmith. That was the Growth, Ancestor Ruin. Wow, this guy can get rid of a ton of corruption. And then this Public Order in the local province could be handy as well. Of course, he's not always... Well, I mean, both of these are going to apply to the province that he's... When he's deployed, that one's just in the local province. So let's do the stuff that improves the local province first. And we are making considerably more money now. That's good, especially considering I have my fancier units within my army. Public Order is still good in Grimhold. Kind of down right now up here.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and, I don't have the money to assault units, so let's deploy this Thane and avoid a little bit of public order loss. So,
I stand strong behind the shield of defiance.
Wissenland wants a defensive alliance. I don't know how that really helps me at the moment. They don't appear very strong, so I'm just going to reject it. We could probably make a lot of money by sacking the border princes. And then we would gain the favor of our dwarf brethren who are at war with them. So I'm going to consider that potential opportunity. This army up here is raiding away quite a lot of income from me. These guys up here are now screwed. So yeah, we'll be able to easily take this from them. Take it we did. Not a lot of loot here. I'm going to sack this joint, and then I'm going to turn around and raise it. Just so that I can get some extra money off this thief robber guy. I'll go into an encamp. Actually, we could go into raiding. Could raid them for a little extra income. I'm just going to go into an encampment and start replenishing some of my men, and then we'll turn around and raise their settlement. So that got me the extra money I need to improve this ranger building, but I also am going to need an armory. And I can build an armory actually here in this settlement, and I think I will go ahead and do that because there's not any other trade income options that really require me here. So let's get the armory in. That'll help me with being able to recruit better units over the long run. Go ahead and end this turn. Lun Ironhammer. I'm going to make him better at assaulting patrols, if I ever have the money to do so.
Yes, speak your flowery.
Yeah, not interested. Okay. We're still being raided. Let's give these guys a little message here. We're going to assault units. Well, the message was that I can't assault units, apparently. Not a very strong message. Alright, time to auto-resolve this nonsense and raise the settlement. Picked up an obsidian lodestone, gained a follower, and that's going to leave Belegar in good shape. I'm going to have to go underground and move on the next turn. And then this enemy siege holdout time -5 will be complete, so that's going to put some pretty serious hurt on these guys. And then I'm going to put one here in Miner's Instinct, and next we can get to Lightning Strike. So, yeah, that should be good. We'll get to Lightning Strike, and then I want to do this Inspirational Leader with him. I think that would be a good tree to take so that I can replenish much faster, like when I'm in an encampment or anything else. Wow, damaged buildings indeed. Those buildings are a little bit important, actually. It's kind of crazy to actually be turning just a little bit of income as Clan Angren and not owning Karak 8 Peaks. These guys are offering a ton of money for a defensive alliance, and they're only at war with Stirland. But if they end up at war with someone else, I guess I can always just turn them down. I don't really need their 1,000 that bad, though. And it probably gives me a diplomatic penalty for breaking that with them after having made the agreement to begin with.
Your conquests strike fear into the hearts of your enemies, mighty lord.
Indeed.
The wisest amongst them.
Shut your trap. Alright. I love telling that guy to shut up. It's pretty spectacular. If I go up to level 3 here, I can get Longbeards with great weapons. I can get Thanes. Things that'll be handy indeed, but I'm kind of thinking let's first get the Renowned Brewery and some of the stuff to improve my economy, and then we will work our way up to the improved military facilities. Let's assault the units again. We were successful that time, and these guys have taken a pretty good hit on their... I beat them last time when they had more units, and it's still giving me terrible chances on the auto-resolve there. That's kind of annoying. But I'll just keep assaulting them, and we should be able to cause considerable damage. I'm going to head back this way with Belegar. and come get these guys out of my province so I can re-secure it. And then I'm thinking about just putting together an army and going for 8 peaks on the next episode. I think we should be in a decent position to do so because our settlements will be relatively defensible. Because they would all have walls. Of course, someone could siege us out. That would be a problem. Yeah, not gonna happen. The mutinous gits have pulled off of their siege there. But I'm gonna chase them relentlessly with this Thane. Not that it will be successful, but I'm going to try and chase them relentlessly. We've got this army moving back in though, so we'll get to them soon enough. Got rid of these filthy mutinous gits. Yeah, 8 peaks is... I always get it wrong where 8 peaks is. Spite Peak, Blightwater, Karak 8 peaks. So here's 8 peaks. So if I wanted to get there, I would pretty much have to cross my lands underground, head through the western Badlands, and then across into the eastern Badlands. And right now there are a lot of greenskins in that vicinity, but at least fighting over there would hopefully take their mind off of my lands in the Grey Mountains and the Vaults, and could potentially be a useful way maybe for me to distract them, since we've rid this area of quite a few greenskins. Alright, Natalya, I'm looking at you.
I am ready to parley. I hope your words are
what is it? Why is it you don't want to trade with me? We got good relationships. I'm not really understanding why you don't want a trade agreement. You have 0 trade goods, and I have 5 of them. Seems like you would be interested in such a thing. But apparently you were just moronic beyond reason. Alright. Let's end another turn. And I will have completed some important research as well. See what happens here. Wow, he was successful in blocking my army. Urky Grudge, carry out an assassination attempt against a character belonging to the Greenskins, or the Crooked Moon mutinous gits. I can try this. It's most likely not going to be successful. This is a level 1 Lord though, so if I have any chance whatsoever, this would be the best one, and there's an extremely low chance that I get wounded. Wow, how about that? That's quite great. And that was for the Shield of Defense. Deploy a Thane in the Desolation of Nagash. Ah, that'll be no problem. I might have to recruit one, and he'll probably get murdered on the way down there by the many greenskin agents. But, hey. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good for this episode. There's not a whole lot else for me to accomplish here. I'm going to get rid of these mutinous gits. I'm not really sure where these guys are coming from at this point, like if they're just like nomadic or what, because I feel like I don't understand where their settlements would be. Let's see. Because it would be nice to get these guys off the map. They are continually attacking me. It shows that they have someone over here as well, but like I said, I'll try and clear them out of my lands, and then we'll make a run for Karak 8 Peaks. HeirofCarthage signing out. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate all of you watching. You're fantastic, and I will see you soon.